I met a Gypsy.
It wouldn't be that fulfilling, you know? And I think that's why, like a guy like RJ, yes, it took him a long time to get a championship, but man, that probably felt better than several of the guys who it kind of just come natural to, you know? It's just like, it's true. Well, you work hard for something, it's that much more important to you.
Yeah. Man, RJ is like the definition of grit, determination,
sure is.
bro.
Yeah. Yes.
What's it been like working with that guy?
Like I said, we have a lot of similarities. I didn't know that coming in. I mean, when I got this deal, when I moved from amateur racing to pro, and for the Rockstar Husqvarna team, I knew Malcolm because he worked with us, right? I had to make that phone call like that night, like, hey, this is Nate. You know, RJ was probably the guy I knew the least out of everyone. I'm calling Dean Wilson, Malcolm, RJ, you know, and
So you're calling him to tell him
like,
you
hey,
got the job.
Yeah, look, hey,
I'm your boss.
starting tomorrow.
I'm the guy.
Or whatever, starting now. I'm the team
dog.
manager. Yeah, the dog father. Yeah. So, and I mean, obviously, RJ's a true professional, both on and off the bike, so he took it well. But he didn't know me. You know, you got to establish that trust and everything. And I didn't know that we related so much. So over the years, we've figured that out. But I mean, the simple fact of how bad he wants it, how bad he's willing to suffer, how much risk he's willing to take day in, day out, like for a moment. And now what's really great with him is he starting to figure out when to push that edge and when to pull back.
It down.
Right? You know, I mean, he's easily could go into RJ mode. I call him Ricochet Rick when he gets like that, and like he just goes nuts, and it either works or it doesn't. But most of the time, that didn't work. So now he plays it a little smarter, to where he weighs it out. You know, just naturally through everything he's been through, he's naturally processing that and weighing it out. So not only are you processing everything that's going on in the moment, you also got to process what
like the big
what's
picture.
worth it,
what's
not worth it, and then in the end, you know, you grow and you mature, and you know, he figured a lot out in the last couple of years, and just like anybody else, now he's had a couple injuries, so he's clawing himself back out of the hole. But you know, I have nothing but respect for him. He's a great racer. Everything you want from a rider, from being, like I said, professional on and off the bike, work ethic, willingness to just, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable sometimes and risk it when, you know, he's everything for that, you know, and then he's a great dad, husband, like, you know, he's just it's just a whole package is great. So it's really fun to work with. And I never have to question if I'm getting everything out of him.
100%. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
We were talking similar conversation, but like RJ, if you look at like RJ, Matt Bisceglia, Zach Bell, like that generation of guys, like you can kind of see the way RJ rides and how those guys rode. And you can look at that generation and be like, they were the first training facility. They were like the guinea pigs of the training facility. I feel like the technique side of things hadn't really come in yet. People weren't as obsessed with technique yet.
Yep.
But they were also riding, like he was maybe the first generation that would have done more laps than any generation ever before him, you know? And you can almost see like that style, a lot of his generation kind of like crashed out and didn't really like that. It's almost like that experiment failed, or it needed to be more redefined to
Not many people made it through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Sextons, like that. Sexton might have been like the first of the new generation that like kind of made it through. He had really good technique, you know, like the Faulkners, like super, super fast, struggled to make it through. And it's like RJ's kind of right on the edge of a guy that
could have easily,
he probably should have crashed out and never actually made it, just because the base
Yep.
wasn't as there as like the Sextons, the Lawrences, the Shimodas, the Kitchens, like that newer, almost like the 2.0 generation of that.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit of what you focus on, right? Like RJ started a little bit late. I don't know about Bishelia and those other guys, but like you're in such a hurry to be fast. You start skipping like technique, foot position, this and that. I'm already faster than this guy, and he looks beautiful on a motorcycle. Like, so it's like you get in such a hurry to get there that you end up missing some steps, or you only focus on the things that the most important to you, or you think are the biggest deal, which is obviously commitment and fitness, and just that grit like RJ has. That was great for him to focus on that because that's his strong point. But he probably missed a little bit of the technique, even though I can tell him one time and he could correct something.
He could go and do it, I'm sure, yeah.
Easily. But when the brain is off and it's just processing, you go back to what you've done.
The default.
Yeah, it's default. Yeah, perfect way to say it. And that's what typically happens. So when we're trying to implement something new, you have to over-exaggerate it and do it so much to where when it comes to a race situation, you're going to land in the middle of the way you used to do it and the new way, right? You're not just going to be that perfect thing. And if you do, you're going to be going slow because all you're thinking about is, elbows up, knees in, toes up, you can't do that. It has to be ingrained in you enough to where you find a sweet spot that works for you.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.